In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the most basic features of our school management system. We're going to begin with adding classes and sections, and then we're going to see how we can add students in bulk. Of course, in adding students individually, it's quite simple. Everybody can do that. And finally, we're going to see how we can add fees and we can categorize fees accordingly. If we know these three things, then we can begin using our system. And eventually, we'll look at all other features. So, to add classes and sections, we can find academics here, and it's self-explanatory. If we expand academics, we can see sections, classes, subjects, subject groups, and all these things. So we're going to start with sections, because section is the most basic thing. We need to assign sections to each and every classes, so we're going to start with sections. And as we can see, we already have some sections here: A, B, C, repeaters, integrated, and all these things. So there's nothing new we can add, but still, let's just say there's a new section called D, and we'll just give section name D and click save, and that's it. We have a new section. And after adding section, now we have A, B, C, D and repeaters integrated. So after adding sections, we can go to class, and we can add a class. So for class as well, we have class 11, 12 need. We can delete some of those. So now we have class 11 and 12. And for class 11, you can see the section is just integrated. For class 12, we have section AB. Similarly, we can add a class 10. And for this, we can select sections. Let's say class 10 has A, B, C, and D, all these sections. So we have selected those 4 sections and click save. Now we have class 10 with sections A, B, C, and D. So let's say in some case there's just one single section, or there's no section at all, it's just class 10. In that case, sections is mandatory, so just select A and then proceed with these things with a single option. So now we have added class and sections. So let's move ahead with the subjects. So we already have science, maths, and subject code for science is SC, maths is MS. So similarly, we can just add any other subject. Let's say English. English is a theory paper, and subject code is ENG. So click save, and now we have another subject, which is English. We can also group the subjects. Let's say we have a NEET and JEE. So for NEET, we can group the subjects like PCB, and for JEE, we can group a PCM or something like this. In any case, if we need to use this grouping of subject, then we can do that. So let's just move ahead to adding students, because now we have already added academics. So our student, they will belong to certain academic groups. They'll have certain subjects, and after that, we are going to select fees for each of the classes and sections with different fees categories. So for adding students, we have student information, and here we can see student admission. So as soon as we click student admission, we can see this form, which is for individual student uploading. It's quite simple. There are a few fields which we need to fill up. With the star mark field is mandatory, and all other fields are optional. So you just fill up all this information and upload it, and that's how you're going to have a new student. But here we are going to see how we can upload students in bulk. Because adding student individually, I think it's no big deal. Anybody can do that. And so is adding students in bulk. It's not that of a big deal. We can just see import student option here on the top right corner. Click on import student, and this is a sample of all the headings that we're going to have. All the headings that we're going to have, with obviously the star marked ones mandatory and all other optional. And again, on the top right corner, we can see download sample import file. So if we download that, we're going to have the sample file, which we can fill with our actual data. So there must be some Excel sheet that we've maintained with the actual data of the students. And we are going to take those entries and we're going to fill our sample file, because there has to be a standard format to upload the students in this system. And that standard format is going to be in this sample file. So I'm just downloading it. So this one's downloaded. Let's just open the sample file. You can again go back to our system and take a look at the mandatory fields: admission number, gender, and if guardian is guardian name, guardian's phone. Okay, I'll just fill those things up. So as you can see, we have already added the mandatory fields, that is admission number, roll number, first name, last name, gender, and guardian's relation, guardian's name, and guardian's phone number. So these are the mandatory fields, but of course, when we are going to upload the students, we are going to upload as many information as we have, because all this information are going to help us fetch the students' details later on. So now we're just going to save this file, CSV. The Make sure you choose CSV and it's not an Excel workbook, or else the system won't recognize this file. So this is CSV, and I'm keeping it under download section so that I can find it easily. Save. We already have one. Replace. Okay, nice. We're good to go. Now we can upload this file. But before uploading this file, we're going to make sure that we assign a class and a section to the file, because it's not like we're uploading the whole school's data at the same time. We are going to upload the data for school, class and section wise. So let's just imagine this data that we've just created, the sample data is for class 10 and section, no, we have any sections? Section A. Okay. And now I'm going to upload the file that we've just created, open and import student. So students are successfully imported. How we as we can remember, we have uploaded the students for class 10 under section A, and we can find it if we just go and search for students class 10 section A and click search. And we're going to have all the students, as we can see, the students from our Excel sheet, 10001, 10002, student first, student second, student third, and so on. All the students are here. Admission number, student's name, class, father's name, and everything. And if you just need to edit anything, let's say while uploading there are some mistakes, and you want to edit that thing, just click on edit and you can edit the students data individually. Or let's say while uploading we didn't have the adequate information and later on we have something important and we want to upload it again, we just can click edit option and we can upload it. So that's how uploading students in bulk works. Hello everyone, welcome back. And in this video, we're going to take a look at how we can manage the fees collection section of our school management system. So let's just go to the fees collection and expand this section, and we are going to see all the sub items. There's fees reminder, fee carry forward, fee discount, fee type, and all these things are mostly self-explanatory. So for fees reminder, obviously it's to send any reminders and anything to all the students for whom the fees are going to be due or fees are already due. And fees carry forward is a thing. If somebody misses any fees for any standard or any session, then we can just carry it forward towards the next year. Till now, we did not add any fees or fees discount, fees type, fees group, or anything as such. So we are just going to start with fees type, and we're going to add fees group and fees master. And after that, we're going to see how we can deal with this whole thing. So first, let's say fees type. Fees type is obviously like admission fees, monthly fees, examination fees, different types of fees that we have. We already have admission fees and academic fees. Now, let's say we are going to add a fees type for like monthly fees for the January month, for the month of January. Fees code is Jan, description, monthly fee for the month, and click save. Okay, so we have added two different types of fees, this January and February. This we're going to remember that this is a monthly fees, and we already have academic fees and admission fees here. Now we're going to create a fees group. Fees group is usually going to be for individual classes. For, let's say, for class 6 we have admission fees, academic fees, monthly fees. For class 7 we have admission fees, academic fees. So each of these classes is going to be a particular fees group. Each of this group is going to have its own different fees type. So we already have class 11. Now we're going to add class 12, and we will also add class 10th. Class 10th. So we have three different classes, and each of these classes are actually a fees group in its own, and each of this group are going to have a fees type on its own. Now we're going to go to fees master, where we're going to play with the whole thing. So for a fees group, let's start with class 10, because we have uploaded students data under class 10. And fees type, we're going to select admission fees. Due date is this May, let's say June 1. The 1st of June is going to be the due date, and admission fees is 10,000. Remember, do not put any commas or anything as such. Just put the amount in plain simple words, plain simple numbers. Fine type. Fine type is if somebody misses the payment before the due date, do we charge any fine? And if we do, then how we charge the fees, in percentage or in fixed amount? In our case, we're just going to keep it simple and we are not going to charge any fine. If you want to do that, you can do that. And this is simple, just click percentage and assign the percent, or click amount, fixed amount, and assign the fixed amount. So we're just going to go with none and click save. So we have class 10th this admission fees. The short code for the fee was ADMFEE, class 10 admission fees. And here the currency is dollar, and we need to change it. We'll also see how we can change the currency. By default, it was dollar, and we'll change it. So now we have added fees master for class 10 admission fee, which was 10,000 rupees. In this case, it's showing dollar. But remember, the thing that we have added class 10 and all these things, it's not class, but rather it's just a fee group that we have created under fee collection section. And we are actually going to, we have to assign a particular class and section. That is different thing. We have created class and section under academics, right? So we are going to assign these fees to a particular class and particular section. Only then the things are going to work together. Now this fees group is a different thing, and the classes and the sections are different thing. So we have created classes and sections under different tab and created this fees group in a different tab. But now we are going to assign these fees, class 10 admission fees, to all the students of class 10. So just click here, the assign tab, select class 10, click search. Okay, so we can see all the students are here. If you want to assign this admission fees to all the students of class 10, then just click all. If you want to exclude it for any particular students, then you can manually exclude it. But in our case, we are going to actually add this thing for all the students of class 10 and click save. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Okay. So now we have successfully added this fees group, fees type, and fees master, and we have assigned this fees master for class 10 students. Now that we have created a fees type, which was admission fees, and we have assigned it to the respective students for whom this fees is applicable, we are going to find this fees under collect fees section. We go to collect fees. We just assigned this admission fees to the students of class 10. So we're going to find the list of the students of class 10. Select class 10 and click search. Here's a list of all the students of class 10. Student first, student second. So we're just going to go for student second, and we're going to find this admission fees due for him. So yeah, as you can see, rupees 10,000 amount is, and the balance amount is rupees 10,000. The 10,000 that we have just assigned as admission fees to all the students of class 10, it's automatically fetched for all the students of class 10, right? So let's say some student came and he or his parents want to pay a partial amount of fees offline in cash mode. So what we're going to do, just go to the collect fees, as we have done right now. We have clicked collect fees, we have selected the class, and we have found the students information. And now as we can see, the total amount of due fees is rupees 10,000. So now we want to collect a partial amount that is being paid by his parents. So click here on the add icon, add fees, and here by default the amount is specified 10,000. So by default it's going to take like whole amount is being paid, but no, in our case we're just collecting rupees 5,000. So change the amount to rupees 5,000, which is a half of the fees which is due to him. And payment mode is cash, discount group none, fine 0, discount 0, and the collection date is obviously today's date. And just add a note for your convenience, he paid the fees in cash. And you can as soon as you click collect and print, the 5,000 amount is going to be deducted from his existing due balance. So collect and print. This is a demo server and it's not going to be that fast. I think printing is going to take some time now. So rupees 5,000 is paid for the student. Now balance is 5,000. It's automatically calculated by the system. We don't have to do anything. The whole thing is you add a fees group, you add a fee type, and then a fee group, which is, let's say, admission fees for class 10, and then you assign this admission fees for class 10 to all the students, or some of the students whom this fees is applicable. So you can do this under fees master, and then once you assign it, it's there. It's there. It's applicable for all. It's due for all the students whom you have assigned the fees. And after this, you can just simply come to collect fees, and you can find this fees there. If you want to collect this fees in bulk in online mode, then you can do it too. In this case, in our case, we don't have any online payment integrated, so we have collected it offline. But we can also collect some this fees via online. I mean, various methods are there. Online payment gateways are there. We can integrate any other payment gateway. We can collect it. We also have fees reminder, where you can remind the students that their fees is going to be due, or let's say it's already due. So if you want to remind them even before the fees gets due, then you can also do this. Just mark this active before. How many days before you want to remind them? In my case, let's say I want to remind them at least 5 days before the fees is actually going to be due. Just mark it and click it save, and they're going to get a notification based on the information that is provided. If it's a parent's email, it's going to be email. And if you want to send SMS, then that's a different thing. We need to integrate another SMS service as well. And let's say you want to remind them after the payment has actually became due. So you can also click active after the reminder type is after, and the payment has already became due. So in this case, how many days after? Let's say in my case, I just want to remind them immediately a day after the fees has gone due. So I can click 1 day and click save. So it's going to be that simple. So that's how we are going to deal with the whole fees thing. And I hope you've understood it. It's not that complex. It's quite simple. And there are a lot of integrations we can do as well. For example, this payment gateway thing, we can integrate this to collect fees online. And we can also integrate various reminder systems like Twilio and SMS thing if you want to remind anything via SMS. Or we can also integrate WhatsApp APIs so that parents can directly get this payment link via WhatsApp. That's a long thing, but ultimately this whole mechanism is still going to be the same. So thank you.